What's up, guys? It is Wednesday, June 14th. It's 10:40 a.m. and this is the crypto newsletter. So we'll dive into this, but first off, we're going to start off with the SEC says it may make a recommendation on Coinbase's petition within 4 months, right? So they were supposed to reply back to the Coinbase's push for proper rulemaking and guidelines to follow with proposing new rules for the crypto market. And they ended up saying, no, we're not planning on issuing any rules, but we may within 120 days. So right here, so though Coinbase has argued that the SEC has decided to reject the petition, the SEC said Tuesday it hadn't made a decision one way or another, though agency staff thinks they will make a recommendation within 120 days, right? So what's 120 days from now? That's about 4 months. So 4 months from yesterday, October 13th. And remember, that's one of the key dates as far as I think there's a lunar eclipse at that time, October 13th. It's Friday the 13th as well, too. And it's going into the weekend. This could be a catalyst, like forward thinking, right? So in 4 months, around that October kind of time point, we've been saying, just like we were saying the May time point as well, too, we could see some big things happen. So this is kind of giving us a foreshadow of it could be something down the line with the SEC, this rulemaking being proposed by them, because they're going to save it for last second. They always do. So that would bring us right to October 13th. I thought that was pretty interesting when I kind of did the math out. Then we have proposed crypto bill would help clear up latest SEC allegations. The Texas Blockchain Council president and McKinsey & Co. partner not optimistic on prospect of proposal's passage. Basically, the planned framework could have trouble passing anytime soon. The framework seeks to give the CFTC jurisdiction over digital asset commodities if certain conditions are around centralization and functionality are met, while allowing the SEC to make arguments for crypto assets if it feels are securities. So there we go. So they're pushing for the CFTC really to be the oversight of the crypto commodities. Then we have Binance US, SEC ordered to start negotiations Wednesday amid asset freeze tussle. So a U.S. federal judge on Tuesday rebuffed SEC's request to order a freeze on Binance US's assets, provided the parties could agree on limits. So they're supposedly supposed to start their negotiations today for this to work out a way for them not to freeze Binance's US's assets. Then we have court order allows Bittrex to unlock crypto withdrawals on June 15th, because another exchange that went down was Bittrex just like a month ago claimed bankruptcy, and they're opening up withdrawals for June 15th. So tomorrow, if you have any funds on Bittrex, you can withdraw off of there. Then we have Representative Waters surprised by strong advocacy for CFTC crypto oversight. It does seem like they're on the side of the SEC regulating. Same with, who's that lady? I forget her name right now, but somebody from Massachusetts, the senator there, the governor. The House Financial Service Committee gathered Tuesday afternoon to discuss the future of crypto market regulation. The hearing titled The Future of Digital Assets, providing clarity for the digital asset ecosystem. They went into the existing landscape and how to classify crypto tokens and fit them within it. And the Republican committee members continue to largely push for more involvement from the CFTC. And David Scott advocated for existing security laws, arguing that crypto companies and token issuers already have enough guidance from previously passed legislation and SEC policies. So we'll have to see how this pans out. It's just going to be back and forth, a whole lot of it. This uncertainty behind the clarity behind digital assets. But we've seen so many connections. We've seen so many partnerships with traditional companies that this stuff isn't going away. It's more like a show to kind of keep things suppressed for the moment. But once they're ready, they'll come to agreement on regulating this stuff, providing some clear guidelines, and then we'll really start to see things kick off. But I will say that doesn't mean price won't move up until then. Like we saw with the SC XRP case, when the lawsuit happened, it tanked, and there's been this uncertainty for this long and still is, but we saw it do a 10x just 90 days, 100 days later. So it's not going to hold back price or anything like that, but it will limit the potential of what some of these coins could do if there was actually regulatory clarity and kind of guidelines for these big institutions with big money to follow. But then we have Bitcoin mining difficulty reaches unprecedented highs amidst challenging market conditions. We're seeing the Bitcoin mining difficulty continuing to just cruise up. Even just looking at this chart here, usually within, I think it's market dumps or start of bear markets, you see the mining difficulty fall off. But then as we start to kick up for the next cycle, we start to break all-time highs with the mining difficulty, I believe is the case. But let's keep going because we got Bitcoin price throwback suggests potential for rally to 37K, Valkyrie Investment says. What have we been saying, guys? Basically a scare moment, a panic selling event to then an immediate throwback or a rubber band snap back up to even higher than we were before. And we've been saying 37, 38K. This is kind of spelling out what we've been saying for the past week now, as far as this being the case. This is what I believe as well too. So a price pattern called throwback has emerged on Bitcoin's daily chart that could recharge bulls engines for a rally toward 37K. In technical analysis, a throwback is a price drop to a former breakout level or resistance turn support. After a breakout, prices rally for some days before losing upward momentum and return to the breakout point. More often than not, prices surge after the throwback is completed. So there we go. So this is that throwback. We had a breakout point. We came down in that falling wedge. We're making higher highs and higher lows and testing old resistance back here. This was a wick down to support as well too. Broke below it, rejection snapped up through it, right back down to it. And yeah, this pattern would suggest a price breakout to 37K. This could happen by July. So everything that we've been saying, as far as if you watch the market updates, if you haven't, then definitely subscribe and go through them and continue to watch them, because I would say that we're going to be on it as far as knowing that we've been saying for the past couple of days now, ever since this market dump, that the altcoins have bottomed and crypto has bottomed at large and the dollar was going to roll over. We're seeing the dollar roll over. We're seeing Bitcoin get stabilized and pop back above 26K. We need to see that continue. Ultimately, if Bitcoin gets back above 27,500, I believe the altcoins have officially bottomed and it will be set in stone at that point. These are steal of the deal prices. Take advantage of it if you can. But if not, sit on your hands and just observe for sure. Let's see the next thing. So Bitcoin traders await Fed decision. So we have the Fed FOMC meeting today. It's always volatile during these type of days. So definitely keep that on the radar. If we look at the next thing, we have Bitcoin supply on exchanges slides to 3-year lows. I would say it's more likely because of all these SEC lawsuits. People are more scared about leaving. Yeah, so right here, traders continue moving Bitcoin to self-custody during the uncertainty surrounding Binance and Coinbase. So as long as these SEC lawsuits loom, this trend should continue. So that definitely makes sense. Then we have the digital dollar may trigger a bank run into CBDC, Treasury official says. There are still no formal plans for a U.S. digital dollar, with the Treasury continuing to explore what a CBDC might look like. So they had said they're actively looking into how to make the most of a potential digital dollar, taking into account both national security and privacy. They haven't made a firm decision yet, but they're looking into it very deeply and actively having these kind of projects like Project Cedar and things of that nature. So if we keep going down, banking system could be sensitive to CBDC rollout, could trigger a bank run and a faster bank run, especially with Fed now being the case coming into effect in July. It definitely could be the case that now funds can move quicker, so that money can leave the institution faster and it could spiral faster as well too. So digital dollar that protects privacy, that's what they're saying that they're going to do. We'll see how that pans out. But let's go to the next thing. So Australia's crypto industry body denounces recent banking restrictions. It seems like this is happening across the world. They're trying to close off the on-ramps because they already know it's next. Prime Trust Unit Bank files for bankruptcy. So bankruptcy filing comes as True USD stops redemptions and Haru Invest seizes operations, citing problems with unnamed partner. Interesting. Could be maybe what if it's Binance, We'll have to see how this pans out. But yeah, let's go to the next thing. We have Ripple on Twitter. It's time to transform finance and modernize payments with crypto. Crypto provides secure and lightning fast rails to bring payments up to speed, reduce intermediaries, and improve capital flows. Let's explore some of the use cases and benefits. Businesses choose crypto for payments for a variety of use cases, including cross-border payments, remittance, small and medium enterprises, treasury, and then payroll, domestic consumer payments. There's no shortage of benefits when a business chooses crypto for payments: lower costs, faster payments with real-time settlement, always-on availability. And discover how Ripple's crypto solutions empower innovative finance leaders to drive business advantages from crypto today, and learn about why crypto means business. So there we go. Crypto for businesses, financial institutions. So let's keep moving forward. We have difficult, if not dangerous time to recommend crypto to clients, industry exec says. So Rick Edelman caught up with Blockworks to discuss how the current crypto and macro environment is impacting sentiment around the space. When it comes to crypto, financial professionals are frustrated as their firms look to stay out of regulatory crosshairs. According to the founder of Digital Assets Council of Financial Professionals, he said regulatory uncertainty within the space, highlighted by the SEC's actions, has reinforced that it is a difficult, if not dangerous, time to recommend crypto to clients. When you have the SEC engaging in such aggressive regulatory enforcement behavior, you don't want to put yourself in a position to become the next target. The number of advisors that own crypto is significantly higher than the ones who suggest such investments to clients. In part, he added, because of restrictions firms put on their financial pros. So there we go. They don't want to do something and then be accused of doing something wrong. That's what Coinbase is experiencing. They're not sure what products are appropriate, so advisors are handcuffed and they're frustrated. These restrictions are not found in any other asset class. It's partly because firms aren't sure what will in the long run be viewed as acceptable practice. So basically, if we can just get those guidelines, that have regulatory clarity for these investment advisors, financial professionals to be able to offer at their traditional firms with trillions of dollars of assets under management to their clients, that's when you see the money pile in. But right now you need the rules of the road first before they're going to dive in head first with billions and even potential trillions of dollars. Okay, so altcoin delete, Wall Street moves in. The US regulatory crackdown on crypto may create room for a different kind of token, something that banks can easily provide. So if we keep going down, the entire business model of cryptocurrencies is at risk of falling apart, and Wall Street firms couldn't be any happier. From the perspective of financial stability, a change of guard will be welcome. Crypto exchanges burst through a gap left unplugged by Satoshi Nakamoto. If you keep going down, if crisis of liquidity and solvency in the crypto industry haven't yet threatened mainstream finance, that's only because of their limited linkages. It's only a matter of time, however, before the two get more closely intertwined. Some of that commingling may well happen outside the US. Even at the SEC was tightening the screws, a Hong Kong lawmaker took to Twitter to invite virtual asset trading operators to come to the city, which pushed ahead with the new regulatory regime on June 1st. Hong Kong's crypto hub ambitions have Beijing's quiet backing. So if we keep going down, the overall message from authorities is this: investors should be gradually pushed out of the unregulated corners of the cryptocurrency world without depriving them of the efficiencies of decentralized ledgers, smart contracts, or some other vaunted innovation. Let the average retail customer of a bank put a portion of her deposits on the blockchain. As long as a well-regulated depository institution channels those savings, there will be no reason to worry about additional systemic risk. Returns for investors will not come from excessive leverage, but fractionalization. Investing opportunities typically reserved for wealthy private banking clients will become available to mass market customers. This fits well with the Bank for International Settlements vision of a unified ledger. Central bank digital currencies will sit in one part of the ledger, while bank deposit coins will be housed in another. Behind another partition will lie all the real-world assets one could buy: stocks, bonds, apartments, toll roads, in tokenized forms. The whole thing will be analogous to a smartphone, where all applications use the same programming environment. Just as a picture taken by the phone's camera has no problem being read by a social media app, money would seamlessly between compartments of the unified ledger and go into all kinds of utilities dreamed up by the private sector. So mainstream finance, supervised by national monetary authorities, has long viewed the crypto industry as fundamentally unstable and socially useless. Unregulated exchanges, stablecoins resembling money market funds, and speculative altcoins, stuff other than Bitcoin and Ethereum, have undoubtedly pioneered many blockchain applications. Going forward, licensed institutions like JP Morgan may as well take control of the technology. After all, tokenized customer deposits will offer all the functionalities of programmable money, so why not promote them in smart contracts as an alternative to stablecoins like USDC? Authorities can at times lose control of depository institutions, as we saw with the multiple US bank failures this year. Still, the risks are largely known, which isn't the case with digital assets. Now that the US regulators are determined to check the unbridled growth of crypto, Wall Street can move in with tokenized versions of its own traditional products, starting with the humble bank deposit. Bam. So that's a great reminder, because we got the Bank for International Settlements vision of a unified ledger being announced. I believe it's June 25th. So unified ledger. So it's coming. You know, I keep saying it in every newsletter because I feel like something big is going to be released during this time. So full report will be released on June 25th. It's about 11 days away. So I believe this is going to be huge. And it's no surprise that that article is outlining that unified ledger as well too, wherever that was right here. And then we have the Rockefeller Foundation and GEAPP to design the world's first coal to clean credit program in emerging economies. The Coal to Clean Credit Initiative, a consortium of global experts, is developing a world first carbon credit methodology and starting a consultative process this month. And it could be signed in 2024 following its accreditation. And it will be presented at COP28. So we had seen COP27 this year. COP28, I think, is next year, and it will be presented then. And if we keep going down, the Rockefeller Foundation plan to present it during the United Nations Climate Change Conference in Dubai with the endorsement of a leading carbon standard. Emerging and developing countries have the right to create opportunity, jobs, and electricity for their people without triggering a climate emergency. We keep going down. It's talking about who they did it with. So I'll pull that up in a sec, because first, the aim is that the CCCI will set a new benchmark of carbon finance coal transition projects and accelerate the global coal to clean transition by providing a nearer term opportunity at the project level. Their methodology aims to align with jurisdictional approaches and system level decarbonization. So green finance, the green transition, carbon neutral, decarbonization, that's going to continue to be the narrative here. So over the course of the coming months, they'll continue to share their expertise with stakeholders and other coal transition initiatives, including the carbon standards, international finance institutions, and other organizations working on financial mechanisms. So they're working, I believe it was with the Rocky Mountain Institute. So let me pull that up. Yeah, so right here. So the CCCI, which is supported by Climate Policy, Rocky Mountain Institute, and the South Pole Global, they ran this consultative process, this whole thing. And remember, Rocky Mountain Institute with Energy Web token and the Crypto Climate Accord, right? So let's decarbonize crypto by powering blockchain with 100% renewable energy, co-founded by Energy Web, Rocky Mountain Institute, and AIR Innovate. So Energy Web token, that's one to keep on the long-term books, because they're partnered up with the big boys. You got the Rocky Mountain Institute co-founded this Crypto Climate Accord with Energy Web, and then Rocky Mountain Institute's tied up with Rockefeller, as well as the United Nations. We had that United Nations, Rocky Mountain Institute, Energy Web token. It was a blog straight from the IMF. I did it in one of my videos. I think I did an Energy Web deep dive. So I won't dive into it right now, but actually, let me see if this is it right here. But the Energy Web Foundation was co-created by Rocky Mountain Institute and Grid Singularity, and they're a disruptor. We keep going down. They're basically specializing in the energy sector. So the energy sector is already facing multiple mega disruptions, and blockchain isn't one of them. Digitalization, decarbonization, decentralization, electric mobility. Blockchain is a solution to disruption rather than the disruption itself. But there was a report, it was literally from the IMF. I'll do a follow-up deep dive video on the green transition again, and then cover the Crypto Climate Accord, Energy Web, and the connections there as well too. But yeah, we'll save that for another video. But introducing Hyperledger Lab Harmonia, unlocking interoperability for regulated financial networks. This was news today. So introducing Hyperledger Lab Harmonia. Distributed ledger technology has gained significant traction in recent years in the financial sector, where promises of data consistency, security, and shared business logic is the key to resolving long-standing market level inefficiencies. However, as the adoption of blockchain networks continue to expand, a pressing challenge has emerged: the ability for these new solutions to seamlessly communicate and transact with one another in a way that complies with the unique constraints and obligations faced by the financial industry. So this interoperability narrative as well too, it's so huge. But you see, it's important to note that Harmonia takes a unique approach compared to existing interoperability frameworks. It's not a new framework. Similarly, it's not intended to define a formal standard like the work of the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance Interoperability Working Group. Their objective is to share a comprehensive set of principles, requirements, designs, and code samples to help inform and accelerate such initiatives. And they're looking forward to propelling the industry towards a future where true atomic settlement across financial markets, blockchain networks becomes a reality. Huge stuff. All the money, like the Chainlink co-founder said, talking about everything of value be tokenized, and talk like this article said from Bloomberg, talking about this unified ledger where you'll have real world assets will all be on there: stocks, bonds, apartments, toll roads in tokenized form. Truly, truly, truly nothing like we've ever seen before. So I'm going to leave it off at that, guys. So if you're new here, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment, leave a like. Come join the Discord as well too. I'll put that link in the bio, and I will see you guys in the Discord and in the next video.